Okay, it's all right.
Yeah, it can. It can.
Oh, that's super. Thank you. So I had made you host so that you would be able to do that. You can end off as the hostship if you once you're done.
Thank you so much. Let me also go back to my screen.
Okay. So this is the second session for your presentation, and I hope you are going to get some few minutes at the end so that people can ask some questions.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's the important part that we need. That's important part of the learning process. Yeah.
Yeah, true that.
Right, thank you. Just want to make sure that the first video is continuing, right? It's on 80%. I'll share that when it's done. Are you all seeing the screen?
Let's go there. Yes, it's very clear from my point.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Engineer Nemasase. How are you?
I'm fine, and how are you?
There is an important thing that we failed to do today, introductions. I need to know all these engineers, guys, because I might have some engineering work that needs to be done. So I need to know who is who, where are they located, and doing which type of engineering work.
Yeah, that is very true, Doctor. I'm sure we are going to take it into account the next time that we get another chance to do this.
Right. Let me proceed. Thank you so much for giving me this mic back. So where do we start from, ladies and gentlemen, engineers? Where do we start from? Like I was saying, we have an upper hand as engineers. We are now 10, 15 years in the marketplace. I know that we were not all eyes closed when we were engineers or when we are still engineers. You need to make sure that you also tap into the opportunities that present themselves in the marketplace. So, and also understand how things work. You know, in Zambia, the issue of the Zambian government and their copper project. The Zambian government sold a copper mine or a copper project to this foreigner on credit. The copper belongs to Zambia. They sold the copper mine. The Zambian government sold this copper mine to a foreigner, an investor, and the investor negotiated so much. You know, the art and skill of negotiation is a very important skill when you come to business and entrepreneurship. I wrote about this. If you go to Sunday Mail online, look for my articles. I wrote about the skill of negotiation. I think in our next session, I will speak about all that is needed for you to be successfully running your businesses. So they negotiated and they were given the copper mine on credit by the Zambian government. And in 3 months, they had paid the Zambian government off their debt with the money that came, or with the process from the copper that they had mined from the Zambian mine, that they bought at no price, so to speak, at no initial investment that they pulled out of their pocket. They negotiated and paid that. So why am I sharing this with you, engineers? I'm on my topic, where do you start from? The first thing is to really know your endowments. What is it that you have? Understand your endowments. The first endowment that you have is that engineering skill. The first endowment that you have is that engineering skill. The engineering skill is enough or adequate capital to start from. Start from that skill that you have, and off you go. The major issue that then holds us back is, where do I start from? Is my skill good enough? Yes, your skill is good enough. You know, we are all engineers, but there are some engineers who are a shoulder above others. Why? Because of the way they innovate then within the engineering setup. You need to be the best engineer in your engineering business. How do you become the best? You need to be searching through things, just to understand how things are moving. You know, when you graduated from university with your engineering degree, most of us then found out that there is a lot to learn in the market than the theory that you learned at university. Only this afternoon, I was sharing with one of my senior consultants that he is a friend who got employed by Zim Alloys in Gweru there. So he was armed with all these ratios and proportion on how to make steel, and he had done it according to the book. Then this old man came and said, "No, my young man, this furnace that you are using is very old. It's now 100 years old, very old, and it's older than you. The temperature that you are trying to adjust there will not be able to melt the steel to the required level. You need to be doing it this way." This old man didn't go to school, but he was lecturing to this graduate from university. And was told, this proportion that you have mixed is wrong. You need to be doing it this way so that it does very well and produce good results in this furnace. So I'm taking you as people who are now experienced enough in our various engineering professions that we have gleaned enough to be outstanding in the marketplace in the event that we start our own endeavors. So your endowment, like I've said, is the first one is the skill that you have. I'm admitting people here. I didn't manage to hand over the hostship to Mr. Manyepa. Let me do so. So that I concentrate on the things that I'm doing over the course.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you.
So a number of people, they ask me, Dr. Vere, you are telling us to start from where we are with what we have, but we don't have anything. So from now onwards, know that you have your skill, which is capital enough. How do I say it? You know, there are quite a number of people out there who doesn't have skill but have the money. They have plenty of money to invest, but they don't have the skill. So for having
sorry, Doc.
Yes.
Hello, Doc.
Yes.
I see that you have actually met someone else who is not me, who is sharing a same name. They are sharing the same name with me.
Let me just check. Oh, it's
There's another engineer,
okay, let me just it's now is he can he just make you then the host, because I can no longer do it.
Yeah, maybe yeah, maybe you can do that. Let me engage him.
Kindly request him to make you the host.
Okay, thank you. I'll do that. You can proceed with the presentation.
Thank you so much. I was saying, you start from where you are with what you have. Your skill is powerful. It exceeds or is better than US dollar that other people have. You know, there are a lot of people who have the money, but they don't have the know-how and the skill. Now that you've got this skill and expertise and knowledge as an engineer, you can convince me, the person who has money, that is if your idea and proposal is sharp enough and piercing enough to be solving a socio-economic challenge, that this investor that has the money can be convinced to want to partner with you. You need to make sure that your idea or your engineering proposal, or whichever business that you then decide to do, you have a thorough job in terms of how it is done, the market survey and the targeted customers, so that you can convince those who have the money. Let me move on to my last slide, the magic of a strong business foundation. Magic of a strong business foundation. Forget about the best advice there. You know, when you're starting a business, the process that you go through when you are building, when you are erecting a building, should just be the same process that you need to take when you are starting your own business. You need to dig deep and put some reinforcement wires on your foundation so that when the earth moves, your foundation doesn't shake, crack, or break. You know, a number of businesses that we start, Those that have started businesses here are testimony to this. They've started several businesses and left them, started this other business and left it because it wasn't that well. The reason is your foundation cracked. Your foundation was not strong enough. Your business should not be just like mist. When the sun rises, it's heat and disappeared. It disappears from the ground. So you need to spend time building a strong foundation. Let me just share with you my experience. For our retail business to be where it is right now, or for the good for business to be where it is right now, it was not easy. We had to forego other luxurious things. People could ask us, Dr. Ferry, or Mr. Ferry, I was Mr. Ferry then, but why are you staying in a cottage when your business is giving you that money? Then I had to tell them, no, the business is giving me this money in order for me to reinvest back into that business, building a strong foundation. I can just build a house. I can just drive the car of my choice when I have plenty of money generated from that business. I need to strengthen my foundation first. So I did so. Those guys, those people who used to give me those shit advices, they were surprised when the business's foundation was strong and we started on quite a number of other projects in no time. So you need to make sure that you forego all these other things in building a strong business foundation. A strong business foundation is good enough for you to start a lasting and sustainable business. Ladies and gentlemen, the transition from boardroom, from the workshop to boardroom session number 1 draws to an end. And as I conclude this, I'm urging all the engineers who are listening to me this evening that you need to have multiple income streams. You need to have multiple income streams. Your salary can never sustain you. The salary can only go that much, and it cannot be doing all the things and meeting all the desires of your heart. I want to thank you so much for hosting me, Mr. Zwanai Manyepa, the host. I'm handing over the mic to you so that I can take questions. I hope we will meet again on the second session, whereby I'll be demystifying issues that deals with how to effectively run our businesses that we would have started.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bere, for that presentation there. I think let's hear from the house. There are any burning issues that probably require some explanation from the doctor? Yes, we are free to talk. You can raise your hand, then I can give you a chance to talk. My engineers, my engineers, do you have anything to say? Any comments?
Mr. Engineer Masasi, okay, he's clapping hands. Thank you so much, Engineer Masasi, for the appreciation.
Anyone with a comment from the floor?
Engineer Manyepa, maybe mine is not really a question, but more like maybe we, as we continue into these sessions, we might be getting there. But I'm more concerned about the issue of raising capital and funding because yes, we do have the skills. We can basically use our skills to raise a bit of capital. But some of the projects that we want to do, they really require millions, and getting partners. This way, like in my case, I'm here in Zimbabwe, and I don't want to go outside Zimbabwe. I want to continue being here and raising capital. Let me give you an example for say a solar project. it's not a symbol for one person, and trying to come together with others, convincing them that there is a reason for us to come together to come up with this type of project. Some do not have confidence in Zimbabwe. Yet I see a lot of potential in the future when it comes to power generation. It might be just generating power and selling to ZESA, or working on certain components of solar, like solar panels. What these? Those are all potential projects that one can invest in.
Engineer,
Okay.
can I take that one?
Yes. Yes, you can take it, sir.
Engineer Nemasasi, thank you so much for that powerful question. The issue of capital, like I said, you don't need to be having the money yourself. The problem that you have is you have got this brilliant idea, so to speak, and an opportunity that you are seeing in the solar industry or in the solar business, which is the way to go in each and every country in Africa. When I was passing from Zambia, collecting my 15-ton truck, I drove through, in Namibia, sorry, I drove through and I found this expanse of land covered with solar panels. And that project is feeding into the national grid, which is a very powerful thing. If someone like Engineer Nemasasi starts that project, it will be very viable. Let me address the capital issue. Like I've said, what you need to do is to come up with a convincing business proposal that speaks to a socio-economic cause, like solar project is the in thing. The initial cost of installing the panels, if you want to be exporting solar to a certain residential area, there are quite a number of businesses that one can venture into. When we come to solar, you can, as engineers, probably you might want to be assembling the solar panels, number one, or you might want to put up the solar panels and feed into a certain community and get money. It's a business. So either way, what you need to do is to come up with a position or a position paper or a thought-provoking business proposal that when you bring it to Master Coach Dr. Ferry, who is so much networked, we can refer you to people who have the money, convince them to partner you with their money, and you have got the skill. And obviously you are in business. So having a skill to me is the powerful ingredient into starting your own business. The second point is you need to convince those that you have capital. If your project is beyond your means, like it's getting into millions, you can also even approach the government. You can also approach quite a number of other players that we can refer you to. We can help you to do so as Premium Business Network International. Our objective as that organization is to network business people or economic players for their mutual benefit. We are taking this one who has the money but want to start a business, don't have any business idea. And we are now taking Engineer Nemasasi from that end, who has this brilliant business proposal of solar panels but doesn't have the money. I'm a lecturer at Women University. I had someone who, I've got someone who is into gold business. He was asking me, Dr. Ferry, the general manager that I hired is falling short because I want someone who uses the money that I have so that I can venture into some other lucrative businesses. Are you saying that there's a lot of money outside there? You just need to have the right connections so that you get it into your project. Are you answered, Engineer Nemasasi?
Yes, I'm answered, but I think the assumption that you have, Dr. Ver, is I don't have a bankable document. For your information, I've even gone to Zera, registering whatever need to be done, this and that. it's actually at a very advanced stage. At one point, I almost secured a partner to go into the project, but there are some funny excuses that they always come out with at the last minute. So
Okay.
so maybe what I should do is to see you and we try to work out something together. Since you are saying you are with who, I think all I need to do is to get your contact details and then we will link up.
Yeah, Engineer Nemasasi, mind you, what you are trying to formulate and come up with is a business.
Yes.
Every business didn't come as easy as people thought it did. Those hurdles and challenges that you are facing are necessary into making a muscular engineer, Nemasasi, that when you are now running this business, you really know that we came a long way and be able to tell others. It's all building up to the business story. Eventually you get there. You just need to cast your net wider. You need to try a number of players, try to link quite a number of people. You even ask any successful business person, they'll tell you that I found a partner on the 20th trial. So don't give up. My word is don't give up. Try to connect and link up with quite a number of people. You see, I normally give people this example. You know, if you are in the business of selling maputi, you know maputi and mafrizens.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you come to Dr. Vere's office. You come to Dr. Vere's office and even Engineer Nemasasi's office saying, I'm selling maputi. They will not buy your maputi because they don't value maputi. It's not their priority. It means you are taking your product to the wrong audience. But if you go for get rich core maputi ako, ne mafriz tako, antuta mashoma. So what I'm trying to say to you, engineer, is at times, the value that you are seeing in your project, people are not seeing the same value that you are seeing. You need to go to broaden your search. Eventually you get to someone who is agitated and waiting to invest in solar project. So if you cast your net wider, out of the 10 people that you're going to be talking to from today onwards, you tell me that I have got almost 5 out of 10 who are promising. Of the 5, you definitely find a partner. I have taken long on this question. I hope you are convinced.
All right. I'm sure a lot of people have actually been helped by that explanation that you gave there. Do you have any other question from the floor? Anyone with a question or a comment? Dr. Vere is there to address your questions and your comments before he leaves the platform.
Engineers are not talkative.
I can see that people are like,
you know,
people don't want to talk.
Yeah,
people don't want to talk here on this platform.
Yeah, engineers are shy, unlike the Dr. Veres and others, who, when you give them the mic, they'll speak for the whole day and a half.
Oh. Yeah, that is very true, Dr. Vere. But anyway, maybe let's do this. There are those that who maybe would want to contact you maybe later. You can share your details so that people can get in touch with you maybe later.
Okay, Dr. Vere can be contacted on. I can be contacted on 0719 592 232 0719 592 232 0719 592 232. I'm also putting the details on the chat in the chat box. 719-592-232 or 772-592-232.
Oh, that's super.
And
thank you very much. Thank you for the details.
Before I leave the platform, engineers must learn to speak. We are how many here? At least a comment from everyone would be good for me before I go. A comment from Engineer Zivanai, a comment from Pride Mashiani, a comment from Kudzi, a comment from Prosper Shumba. Let's just let's speak into the presentation. Just a word.
Yeah, thank you, Doc. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay, I'll take it up briefly. Firstly, I want to thank you for such a beautiful presentation. You talked about a lot of things. You talked about pursuing your passion, and you talked about looking at your endowments. What are those things that you already have, and so that perhaps you can start your business along those natural endowments. As engineers, we've got skills, and we've got social capital, and a lot of other things. You also talked about associating with those who are doing things that you intend to get into, so that you can learn one or two skills, one or two things from those that have already succeeded at doing that which you are intending also to study at. I think those are maybe from your presentation. I got those. I got too many points actually, but I think for the sake of time, we would want to also give others a chance to talk, to perhaps comment. So yes, thank you, Doctor.
I think
your next nominee, who is the next person?
Let me just Mr. Engineer Zivanai. What
is it there?
What engineers
is it there? Maybe. All right. What they say maybe is also looking at me because we are sharing the same name.
Okay. Zivanai Kadenga, yes.
Oh no, yeah, that's fine. I was also looking at him, waiting for him to speak again. Thank you so much, Doctor. We've learned a lot through your presentation. I've also learned that one of the greatest, part of the greatest capital that I have is my knowledge as an engineer. I just hope we are going to be having more presentations from you on this platform.
Thank you. Washington Munatsi, Mr. Washington, over the mic to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vere, for bringing in this transformational speech. I'm sure we'll be able to navigate around the challenges that are in our environment and manage to do something. Probably by the end of the year, we should have started something.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. There's this one using a Galaxy J7. There is no name, but let's go to Pride Mashiani. Pride Mashiani, what have you to say? Pride?
Hello, engineers. Good evening. I'm very glad to meet a network that is full of engineers, and I'm glad that among brilliant engineers. All I want to comment out is I like the idea that we need a strong networking environment among engineers so that we can grab all the opportunities that may arise in this environment. And I like the idea that among us, we can actually generate the necessary knowledge or engineering solutions that we can use, and we can actually do something. I myself am starting a business, so I'm really enjoying these sessions. So thank you, engineers. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you. Kudzi, can you share with us your comments? Kudzi?
Thank you very much. I think I have just one comment, just to complement what Dr. Manyepa was saying. Maybe just to say that in terms of financial literacy on its own might not be enough, but it also requires practical follow-through and sustained, for it to be sustained and sustainable results for anyone who desires to be an entrepreneur, irrespective of your background, being an engineer or not. But the other thing that I've noted is that people don't have action, and the action part is the hardest thing that people should overcome. And it's different from a theoretical aspect that we have. So we might be financially literate, but the action to put things in place is one thing that is very, very important. And also another thing is sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone in order for you to realize what you want. Most of the people, like I've noted in my own personal experiences, people given very good cars, then they are very comfortable in that in those company cars, so to speak. So sometimes you need to get out of your comfort zone so that you get results that you want. It's better sometimes, like what you're saying, doctor, to move in a Honda Fit whilst you're doing your own business than to be in a Toyota Hilux or a Prado that you've been given by a company whilst you're not progressive enough. So that is what is very, very, very important. Let's get out of our comfort zone and we'll get the results that we want. That's the most important thing. Thank you.
Powerful, powerful insights from Kudzi there. I really like it. There is a difference between learning and implementing. Learning and implementing. You need to have an accountability circle. People who ask you, what you planned this last time, where are you now? Because it's one thing to learn and it's yet another difficult thing to implement. The ideas that we have, the projects that we shelved within our minds should see the light of day so that you are in a position to benefit from them and also benefit others. So we need to make sure that we exonerate, we release the ideas from the jail cell that they are enslaved in. Our brains have enslaved business ideas for quite some time. It's time that we release them out into the market by implementing. Let's roll them out in the form of businesses. Powerful, Kudzi. Thank you so much for that comment. Claudius? Claudius? Prosper Shumba? Okay, if you feel you haven't spoken, just speak out so that we wind up the session. I give the mic over to Mr. Manyepa. I think others have just logged in and went on doing other things. It's fortunate that
it seems so.
So I'm handing over the mic to you, Mrs. Wanai. I'm done. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Vere. Thank you for such a beautiful presentation. Thank you for taking your time to come and speak to the engineers. I'm sure we've learned a lot. And we are going to definitely, benefit from one or two of those